And we are so live. Where were we? Last we left off. Oops. That's the. There we go. Right, I found it. Grezzo by Profumo.it. A 4-star woody fruity fragrance. Strange name, strange outfit, great fragrance. Dominique Dubrana is a French-born self-taught perfumer who has set up shop in Italy and makes all natural fragrances. He also sells excellent dilutions of unusual raw materials such as ambergris and civet. Dubrana is a poet and scholar in, as far as I can tell, the Sufi tradition. His fragrances are all pretty good, but some, like this one, are exceptional and, amazingly, stand comparison with any non-natural perfume. All natural fragrances are for the most part soggy herbaceous decoctions with the bone structure of a sea cucumber. You slumber, a cucumber. If you get that one, go ahead, type in the comments. I get you slumber, a cucumber. Grezzo is a beautiful woody fruity confection based on an accord that smells like cedar and apricots. Osmanthus? In parentheses. Not particularly long-lasting, but cheerfully delicious and great as both masculine and feminine. Look at her in. Gucci by Gucci. No, this is not Gucci by Gucci from Gucci. This is Gucci by Gucci. A 3-star woody oriental. Gucci, following the departure of Tom Ford, shows alarming signs of reverting to Guido style, aka the Miami pimp and mole look and mall, or is it mole? Pimp and mole, I think. Look of the bad old days. The bottle of Gucci looks pure 80s and even has a gold-plated miniature belt buckle hanging from it. More Guccione than Gucci. The fragrance, composed by the talented Antoine Maisonneuve, is one of a breed of well-crafted, drop-dead pretty, but instantly forgettable woody orientals begat by Narciso Rodriguez, for her, a sort of olfactory Carmen Electra. The basic formula is a swirling cloud of woody amber, we all love that, and spicy notes. And Gucci adds a fresh fruity top note and an interesting but short-lived white floral magnolia accord. The whole thing rounds out of cash at about T equals 60 minutes. Sorry if you hear rabid-ass cats outside. We got a big stray cat problem, and it's ooh, wow, I can really hear that. Oh my god. If I'm hearing it, pray you guys don't hear the damn cats fighting. There we are. T equals 60 minutes, and thereafter feels like the morning after. Oh my god, cats. They're insane. Look at her in. Gucci Eau de Parfum by Gucci, a 3-star indole oriental. What would otherwise be merely a pleasant taboo-like balsamic oriental has the unusual twist of incredibly indolic orange blossom floral, which gives it some of the familial intimacy of smelling your beloved's breath in the morning before toothpaste again makes him fresh as a stranger. A bit sleazy, but not bad at all. Tanya Sanchez. Ugh. I have no beloved. I don't know what the fuck you're getting out here, Tanya. Anyway, Gucci Eau de Parfum 2 by Gucci, a 4-star sage floral we have upgraded. Sorry. The surprisingly heavy bottle, prying the tractor tire-sized cap off is no joke, holds a subtle pink floral of black currant and violet, which manages, via the absence of sugar and the presence of a sober, savory herbaceous accord, to avoid any ditziness. Quiet and competent, smart without showing off, this is one of those fragrances that seems designed for the professional life. The discreet scent of the ideal assistant, Tanya Sanchez. Gucci Purom. Oh, this. Oh, so Gucci and Gucci. So Gucci Eau de Parfum and Gucci Eau de Parfum 2 are from the Tom Ford era. Huh. Interesting. Well, here we are. Gucci Purom 1. A 4-star incense amber. Michel Almerac's brilliant composition did for frankincense what Envy Men had done for ginger a few years earlier and started a trend of liturgical fragrances that show no sign of fading. I love the smell of incense, and Gucci Purom 1 does a great job of preserving its smoky freshness up into the heart. After such a striking couple of hours, the dried and accord cannot help being more banal, but it is good nevertheless. Wear this one on fabric to make it happen in slow motion. Look at her in. Gucci Purom 2. Look, sorry, it's a 2-star tea fougere. This woody bergamot and violet leaf composition is a game attempt at making a spiced tea fragrance for men, but it feels oily and screechy. Tanya Sanchez. Let's see what you guys think about that one. Next up, Guerlain by Guerlain, a 3-star soapy floral. This fragrance, supposedly a republished 1921 original, bears the name of the legendary base supposedly added to every Guerlain perfume to give it an air de famille. If I may be forgiven a little pedantry, the name has illiterate silliness built into it, because French phonological rules dictate that the A in Guerlain should be retained. Should be retained in derivations, as in Guerlainade, where the A should be retained as in Guerlainade with the A instead of the I. Okay, the smells bears no relation to whatever the great Guerlains have in common. Guerlainade is a pleasant, slightly soapy floral of excellent quality, halfway between hawthorn and lily of the valley, and totally harmless. Look at her in. Guess Man by Guess. Zdravo, Dushan, zdravo. Thank you for joining us. Currently on Guess Man by Guess, a 1-star chemical fresh fragrance. By the way, scent of the day was Ambre Suprême by Les Indémodables, because that's my only bottle at the moment, and I felt like wearing the bottle. What was your scent of the day, Dushan? Okay, so 1-star chemical fresh, Guess Man. Tedious drone clone smells of fresh plastic VOCs. Claims to contain Siberian blue fur, whatever that may be. Look at her in. Guess Woman by Guess. Azara Puron. Were you inspired, Dushan? Because I also have a vintage. I don't think it's from 1978, but I do have, a vintage mini from Anuj, the great Anuj, the not late and great Anuj. He did give me a mini for free, 5 mils. And I do enjoy it, but it feels very weird when I wear it. It's like I'm not supposed to wear this. It's like I don't feel myself when I'm wearing this. It's like I'm wearing a mask. as if I'm cosplaying an older man, if that kind of makes sense to you. But yeah, very nice, clean smell. I have grown to enjoy these kinds of more, clean masculine clean old masculines. Though I'm not sure I'm there with the dirty ones. Like, sure, I did. Portrait of a Lady from Frederic Malle. Uh, I only have, the closest thing that maybe could be considered a what you say, an analogy, or like a twin, a sister of Portrait of a Lady, is my two samples of La Douleur Exquise from Les Abstraits. But still, it's like I do like it, but it's not up there for me. Like, I think Bellhomme is a better fragrance to me than La Douleur Exquise. Going to the club, clubbing night, very interesting. I hope you have fun, Dushan. Though the word clubbing has two B's in it, not one. I'm not sure if it was a typo, but as an English major, I kind of have to point. I kind of like can't control not pointing it out there to people. But yeah, interesting. Okay, I mean, that's okay. Do what you have to. I'm still reading. Okay. Guess Woman by Guess. Imitation Tea, 1 star. Shameless, blatant copy of Tommy Girl done with a gas chromatograph badly in need of calibration. Look at her in. Habanita. Abanita. I think it's Abanita from Molinard. A 4-star vetiver vanilla. Molinard, like all the grass firms ending in ar, like Fragonard and Gallimard, old Germanic names dating to Lombard days, makes mostly cheap and cheerful stuff for its factory shop, and only one serious fragrance worth mentioning, the colossal Abanita. Allegedly composed by a Grasse pharmacist in 1921, shades of François Coty's early days when he learned fragrance composition making lotions in a pharmacy. Yeah, that's great, Dushan. That's just knowing that you're listening is fine enough for me. So it juxtaposes vetiver and vanilla in such a way that both disappear and are replaced by something that is not the sum, more like the vector product of the two. I once described it as Arthur Miller arm in arm with Marilyn Monroe, but in truth it would be their gorgeous hypothetical child. Look at her in. And next up, Habit Rouge by Guerlain. Of course given 5 stars, called a sweet dust. One of the most immediately and permanently appealing ideas in all of perfumery, the orange flower and a Papanax accord, soft and rasping like stubble on a handsome cheek, is a bit like beauty itself, immediately understood, never quite elucidated. The new version of Habit Rouge, which may have undergone some cleanup at the hands of Edouard Flechier, appears sparer, less laden with dandified frippery than previous ones. This emphasizes HR's most attractive aspect, the surprising but in retrospect self-evident character that is the hallmark of a work of genius. I don't know. Habit Rouge is just, I didn't like it that much. Like, I don't get the hype about Habit Rouge. Like, it's probably a well done fragrance, but I don't get it. I've described it once as a glass of lemonade that gets progressively less colorful as the perfume goes on. Maybe I need to wear it more, but that's what I got from like 1 or 2 wears. Anyway, next up we got Adrien Absolu by Annick Goutal, a 3-star Intense citrus. This concentrated version of the pale eau d'Andrion is better. A bright little citrus cologne. Not as good as the best, but far from the worst. Tanya Sanchez. La I sorry, what the fuck? La Haye Fleurier. La Haye Fleurier. Sure. La Haye Fleurier. Sure. I'll go with that. La Haye Fleurier. By L'Artisan Parfumeur. A 3-star jasmine soliflor. Nice jasmine, look at her in. Halston Z by Halston. No mention of Halston 112. Luca Turin didn't know that Halston 112 existed, or it was discontinued, so he just didn't consider putting it in. I guess he just didn't consider putting it in. Oh well. Halston Z by Halston, a 3-star gray citrus. Strange bottle, like a large white blood cell in frosted glass. Bitter, completely linear woody citrus accord with a solvent-like top note. Relentlessly overcast gray and mute, ideal for strong silent types and aspiring secret agents. Look at her in. Halston Z14 by Halston, a 4-star woody citrus. Opinions differ as to what Z14 means. Was it a code name for a Firmenich captive molecule in the formula? Was it the perfumer's code for the variation chosen by Halston? Either way, this hugely influential fragrance, now almost forgotten and sold for very little in the most dismal places, was easily 20 years ahead of its time when it came out, 1976, and is still wonderful today. It is at heart a classical chypre accord of bergamot, cistus, and oak moss, which is overlaid with a very tight, woody lemony structure. The remarkable thing is the way in which the dry, resinous woody notes enhance the turpentine aspect of the lemon aldehyde citral to such an extent that only the fizz of a lemon ghost is left, without any cologne feel. A dark, dry, direct marvel. Look at her in. Hammam Bouquet by Penhaligon's, a 3-star woody floral. A hammam is a Turkish steam bath, and this is a classic Edwardian, actually late Victorian, unisex fragrance, with plenty of lavender and rose on a background of woods. The original formula must have been great in a languid sort of way, but the modern version feels a little harsh, no doubt because many materials are no longer obtainable or affordable. Look at it. Hamptons by Bond number 9, a 1-star oily woody. Anyone who would choose to wear this confused, harsh concoction is someone you would not invite for a weekend at your summer home. Tanya Sanchez. You go, girl. Hanae by Keiko Mecheri, a 2-star fruity floral. Why would a niche outfit make a pedestrian fruity floral? This one is exceptionally cloying in a children's cough syrup way. Tanya Sanchez. Hanae Mori Butterfly by Hanae Mori, a 4-star fruity oriental. Hanae Mori's eponymous fragrance from 1994, with a terrifically trashy cotton candy idea lifted straight from vanilla, uses today's popular cheerfully bright berry notes, a deliciously natural smelling cassis plus a rosy strawberry, but places them in an unexpectedly classic woody floral setting rather than the Kool-Aid colored body sprays they're used to. More exuberant and richer than the similar Haute Couture by Givenchy, but more subdued than its rose vanilla cousin Tocade. Hanae Mori is a bombshell gourmand, incredibly rich and strong, projecting far distances and intensifying with time. Go light and spray, Tanya Sanchez. Hanaemori Butterfly Au Fresh by Hanaemori, a 3-star sugared grapefruit. This lightened version of the original keeps the sweet woody background but deletes some vanilla and replaces the berries in the original with a sharp pink grapefruit. The combination works, but better on paper than on skin, where it smells slightly rubbery. That is perfectly fine, Margie. That is perfectly fine. I don't expect interaction, because I don't have much of a high view myself. But that's neither here nor there. Just knowing that you're here is enough. Because my StreamYard does a funny thing where it shows me that there are 0 viewers even now, which very much is funny to me. Either way, the next review is Happy by Clinique, a 3-star milky floral. The peculiar thing about Happy is how unhappy it appears. On the box, the lowercase type with the full stop brings to mind droopy dog with his tented, saggy face intoning, "I'm happy." The press agent at first seemed reluctant to send a sample, asking me anxiously when I requested it, "But what do you do if you dislike a fragrance?" At that point, I fully expected it to be terrible, but it isn't. Happy is a lovely, mild floral with soothing, milky tones of papaya against the hale, clean musk from Pleasures. Nothing brash, nothing too manic, but I suppose people wouldn't buy it if it were called Sedate. Tanya Sanchez. You know, it does bring to mind Persalace's Love at First Scent impression, where he says, I don't know, it would be better if it were be called something like content rather than happy. He didn't find it outwardly happy. So yeah, it does coincide somewhat with Mr. P's views. Okay. Happy for Men by Clinique, a 3-star woody citrus. A pleasantly fresh citrus woody with some of the milky, slightly overripe papaya notes from the feminine version. What I like is that it isn't immediately recognizable as a masculine. It doesn't last though, and fades to a pale, woody amber. Tanya Sanchez. Haute Couture by Hanae Mori, a 3-star fizzy jasmine. A bright, citrusy, aldehydic, sweet jasmine floral with classic references but modern lightness and a nose-tickling sharpness. Haute Couture reminds me in feeling of those terrific, fun, fruity, unoaked New World Sauvignon Blancs. Clear, acid, vivacious, good company. Tanya Sanchez. That is so fucking pretentious. God damn, that is so it's like I know that wine is like a thing, but like that is so fucking pretentious. Like Tanya Sanchez, probably good writer, but like, oh my god, she came off like such a fucking whiner in this one. No offense, girl, do your thing. Like, god damn, you sound annoying as fuck. Next up, Hey by Alfred Sung, a 2-star fresh green. The blue glass bottle, gray top, and simple shape warn you of an incoming sports fragrance. And sure enough, sneaker juice, though no worse than most. Look at her in. Eris by, sorry, it is Eris, or Eris, not sure. You know, the female equivalent of air. Eris by Paris Hilton, a 1-star fruity floral. Hilariously vile 50-50 mix of cheap shampoo and canned peaches. Look at her in. Heliotrope by Etro, a 3-star powdery mimosa. Heliotropin is closely related to vanillin, has an almost almondy floral vanillic smell, and is an ingredient of the abstract compositions that go under the name mimosa or heliotrope in perfumery books. To a French nose, it smells of a paper glue for kids that used to be sold in little pots with a small plastic ice cream spoon to help you make a mess. This is one of Etro's most sedate fragrances in an eminently sensible range and is perfectly nice if you like that sort of thing. Look at her in. Next up, Héritage. Look at her in, giving it only 4 stars. Gonna offend surely some fans in the community. Like, I'm sure one would be very angry at just 4 stars. There was a brief period around 1990 when masculine fragrances tried on a bigger persona, akin to the faintly acromegalic men one sees in 40s shirt advertisements. Square chins, broad shoulders, big boned but graceful hands, wavy hair, affable but remote like warriors on home leave, good looking enough to be gay, only straight. In other words, England on steroids. Naturally, Joe Blow was far from ready for this evolutionary leap, and a string of great 90s fragrances missed their target by miles. Zeno Davidoff, Globe, Troisième Homme, Sens. Sorry, it's Insensé. It's probably just Insensé, because it has a little accent. Anyway, Bellamy, Bellamy, dot, period. Héritage, derived from Zeno, was another failed try at making masculine fragrance stop dragging its knuckles on the ground. The fossil record shows no trace of a species intermediate between young buck and old fart, as if straight men aged without ever growing up and had no need of fragrances fit for heroes. Yet very few masculines are as instantly appealing as Héritage. Its huge brass cord spans several octaves from a woody ambery top note to a powdery vanillic base via a spicy center of great richness. The downside is tremendous radiance, bad news in a masculine. The curious thing is that 15 years later, women are flocking to fragrances like Coco Mademoiselle and Narciso Rodriguez for her that are basically Héritage in drag. If I were Guerlain, I would do a chance. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, it's not a chance, it's a chance. With this one, delete the masculine, add a drop of jasmine, change the silly name. In French, it means both inheritance and heritage, and bring it back as héritière. Too bad Paris Hilton, with heiress, thought of it first. Look at her in. Herrera Aqua by Carolina Herrera, a 2-star herbal amber. Everything's in place, but unspeakably dull. This is the fragrance of a man you can't talk to for 30 seconds without shaking your watch. Tanya Sanchez. Herrera for Men by Carolina Herrera. A 3-star Immortelle citrus. An interestingly savory, curried version of an herbal sport cologne, like the Playboy son of Eau d'Hermes, Tanya Sanchez. And next up, we got L'Heure Bleue by Guerlain, which I knew was going to be an H because L is just the. Of course, with literally 0 doubts and complaints, it gets 5 stars. Called Dessert Air. With 2 S's, confection, dessert. When it comes to arranging a folk theme, the early 20th century had Mahler and L'Heure Bleue, Mahler and L'Heure Bleue, and we have Enya and Fleur d'Oranger from L'Artisan Parfumeur, Lutons, etc. The brilliance of L'Heure Bleue is to cast fresh, shallow, sunny orange flower in a huge roll, flanked by 2 giants, eugenol, cloves and carnation, and ionones, woody violets. Their chorus inexplicably achieves a mouth-watering pollen effect. mouth-watering praline effect close to that lethal Torino delicacy, the gianduia. That's just goddamn fucking Nutella, more expensive Nutella. I don't know why you just didn't say high-end Nutella. Why'd you have to write gianduia? That's kind of stupid. This is Guirlon, the virtual pastry chef at his best, with a fragrance that teeters on the edge of the edible for hours without missing a step. If your red hot Riding Hood and a hungry wolf just rang the bell, this is the one for you. Heure Exquise by Annick Goutal, a 4-star animalic iris. Goutal's style of refined, unobtrusive classical florals can suffer from feeling too prim and well mannered, easy to admire but hard to love. Like tightly tailored clothing that, while beautiful, makes it hard to walk. Well, of course, we got a man, going to clubs. I'm not a club person myself. Like if I were to be forcefully dragged to a social event, it would be a house party where I would pray there would be like four, maybe like seven attendants max, and most of the time would be spent alone, either petting a dog in a party or just stealing bites from food and stuff like that. Or if it's all people who I know, it would probably just be playing board games because fuck loud club music. No offense to everyone who likes them, but like, god damn. All I need is a good board game, and I don't mean Catan or Monopoly. I mean a board game with a lot to do, like Quacks of Quedlinburg, which is just huge, but also very simple to play. Or even, like, I don't know, maybe just try and learn a game that I haven't played ever. That would be fun. Board games are just fun. I need to play board games with more people. I just don't. But yeah, that's that. Where was I? Yeah, okay. Eric's keys can suffer from feeling too prim. Okay. Like tightly. God damn, Zushan. Relax, bro. We don't need your Riz up in here. Anyway, there it is. Okay. Like tightly tailored clothing that, while beautiful, makes it hard to walk. Ulrich's Keys is one guitar that I genuinely love. A rich galbanum iris composition close to Chanel number 19, but in contrast to the neurotic feeling of the Chanel, with a generous, warm backdrop of woody and animalic notes that feels like falling into a featherbed. Tanya Sanchez. High Intensity by Mary Kay, a 2-star sweet citrus. Boring, cheap, but not particularly offensive citrus balsamic sweet confection intended for the male of the species. Smells like shampoo. Look at her in. Higher by Dior, a 2-star fruity sporty. Yes, please, next time aim higher. A sporty fougere with a hissy pear top note. Tanya Sanchez. Wow, Dior were really in a slum back then, huh? Higher energy by Dior, a 1-star citrus sport. I've run out of things to say about these horrible sporty masculines, Tanya Sanchez. Himalaya. If we wanted to say it more properly, it would be Himalaya. If it's Himalaya, because it's in the Hindi range. Anyway, by Creed, a 2-star soapy pepper. Washed out pink pepper confection, overexposed by 3 stops. Look at her in. Hindu Kush by Profumo.it, a 4-star resinous oak moss. If your favorite part of Mitsuko is the resinous floor wax and church incense start, here it is in the pure state, made with only natural materials and delicious, though not particularly long lasting. Iris, with an H at the start, but it's still Iris by Hermes. Oh my god! Oh my god! Iris by Hermes gets a 1 star. A 1 star from Luca Turin. He's calling it a sad iris. Olivia Giacobetti is responsible for several masterpieces, including Ting and Premier Figuier, both for L'Artisan Parfumeur. Those are truly great, and so far she manages to break with her usual manner. Delicate florals with a pale, sour note reminiscent of clothes washed with unscented fabric softener. Sadly, Iris is part of this contingent, with the Rudy Iris note adding a remote, pinched temperament to the overall effect. Horrible. Look at her in. HM by Hanae Mori, a 3-star lavender green fragrance. Dilly dilly. This is one of these terrifying mutant fruity herbals that come on like lavender and on steroids. Built out of screechy synthetics, woody plus green plus fruity, but in this version, at least the whole thing is nicely buttressed with fruity cassis and a garden's worth of girly flowers. When it comes to masculines, I've smelled much worse, although this is probably a bit more powerful than one would like. A ghost of angel haunts the top note, Tanya Sanchez. Next up, L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent, a 2-star woody citrus. If Pierre Bourdon had, over the years, got due credit and collected a buck for every bottle sold containing a cool water clone, he would be richer than Berlusconi and more famous than Edith, Edith Piaf. Thousands of young kids would grow up in French suburbs dreaming of becoming perfumers. The Collège de France would house the perfumery school, and the Louvre the Osmothèque, with the Impressionists moved to a refrigerated basement in Versailles. Look at her in. So he just straight up called L'Homme a cool water clone. God damn. Maybe I do need to smell cool water. L'Homme de Coeur by Devon. Who's Divin, not sure. A 4-star woody iris. What a great star! Jan Vasny's brilliant composition begins with a beautiful, fresh, peppery juniper cypress accord, which smoothly morphs to a luxurious woody iris second subject against a fresh, slightly smoky background of vetiver. Superbly judged, rich, complex masculine, best worn on fabric to maintain its proportions and delay the dry down. Look at her in. L'homme, sage. I'm guessing it's not a French word. If it is, it's going to be like sage, something like that. By Devon. A 3-star spicy wood. A very nice structure, but a little bony, reminiscent of Jacques Bogart's long forgotten Witness from 1992. The warm spice wood resin accord is friendly, but somehow feels intrinsically cheaper, no matter how much the actual formula costs. Like a street kid made good, fragrances of this time cannot shed a muscular crudeness that would work well on, say, James Cagney, but be totally wrong on Cary Grant. Honey, I Washed the Kids by Lush. Fosco, hello there. Hello there. What's your scent, if any, today? Mine was Mine was Ombre Supreme, which is great. The kind of I don't know. Eugene's lyrical waxing about Ombre Supreme being more than a perfume is something that I don't get, though I do appreciate his passion for Ombre Supreme. For me, it is firmly in the perfume space. And like, if I were to give it an image, it would be a bento box of nuances with the separating walls kind of starting to fuse into each other and disintegrating. I'm guessing gold man again, and don't mean gold woman. But either way, I think gold is good. I just have not smelled it. I just know it's the first Amouage release. Anyway, Honey I Wash the Kids began as a best-selling honey-scented soap for Lush. Besieged with requests by customers to make it a fragrance, they did. It smells like supermarket candles in jars. Less a fragrance than a headache force field. Yeah, okay, Gold Man. Interesting. Guessed as much. Okay. Less a fragrance than, yeah, okay. File with the clean line of fragrances under the heading Be Careful What You Wish For by Tanya Sanchez. Honeysuckle and Jasmine by Joe Malone. A 3-star sweet floral. Nice little low-key floral, no great shakes, but true to its name. Look at her in. HOT Always by Bond Number 9. A 4-star camphor earthy. For unfortunate cultural reasons, big patchouli fragrances have to overcome the ever-present insinuation that the wearer is either 1. A user of bongs, or 2. Covering up what the British call pongs. Strong stinks. Therefore, fragrances that feature patchouli prominently, such as L'Artisan's Patchouli Patch or Gap's not as in the man, it's OM, like tend to go subtle and emphasize the material's clean, natural outdoor smell. Haystacks, not head shops. HOT always is far from this. HOT always is far from this kind of subtle, but neither does it make you think automatically of stoned kids on hate. Instead, it smells like a massive dose of camphor plus freshly overturned earth, and hits you with an invigorating, sinus-clearing, icy whop, which you smell powerfully at quite a distance and which lasts for ages. Terrific gutsy stuff, lots of fun, and totally impossible to wear politely. Tanya Sanchez. Now, as I'm going to hydrate, I do have some. It would be a great time to say, if you did like my stream, as so far, feel free to hit the like button on the stream, if just because. And that's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, hot couture as opposed to haute couture, very funny. A 3-star trashy raspberry. The faux 50s packaging belongs to a Lucky Star era Madonna aesthetic. The pun is a groaner. Guys, see? I knew it. It's ut and hot. Ho ho. It's not funny. And the fun artificial raspberry swirl ice cream idea has been muffled by classy ambery good intentions. Also, I thought this had been discontinued. Whilst going on, I noticed they've redesigned the packaging, switching from beveled black glass to clear with pink liquid, and replacing the old Art Deco couture gown image with a girly pink label. I suspect Givenchy aimed high, hit low, and went with it. Tanya Sanchez. Next up, Hugo by Hugo Boss, a 2-star unexciting lavender. Dull but competent lavender oak Mustang suggestive of a day filled with strategy meetings. Look to it. Hugo Double X, aka just XX like the chromosomes, by Hugo Boss. I had to sneeze. God damn it! The sneeze went away. I hate when that happens. A 1-star thin floral. Smells like shampoo. Look at her in. Hugo XY, aka the same fragrance but for men, by Hugo Boss, a 2-star watery green. Another unnecessary fruity woody fougere dried from Fahrenheit and cool water, this time featuring an iced accord. Since water gets no cooler than that, this must be the end of this road. Tanya Sanchez, fuck. Like, sometimes she irks me, but the fucking one-liners, man, it's like a Marvel movie. Ugh. Jesus, okay. Hummer by Riviera Concepts, a 3-star sweet lavender. The whole idea of a perfume named after an overpriced tin can is so embarrassing and the bottle so wonderfully naff that I was spraying for the fragrance to measure up. Sorry. That I was praying, no S, god damn it, I'm terminally ill with the fragrance illness, praying for the fragrance to measure up to the concept. Alas, the random gods of perfumery struck again. It's not bad. A sweet woody lavender, more suggestive of a Toyota Camry than of the Tonka of Bling. Look at her in. Hypnose by Lancôme, a 2-star drab Oriental. What, if any, is the point of hiring perfumers of the caliber of Thierry Vasser and Annick Menardot, and then give them a fabric softener budget to put together a major fragrance? L'Oréal, owner of Lancôme, is a dismal penny-pinching outfit in this respect. But then again, maybe that's how the rich get rich and stay rich. Look at her in. Hypnose by Lancôme, a 2-star cheap lavender. Maurice Roussel's masculines sometimes tend towards the crude musc ravageur and lapidus. And this is one of those. A big synthetic smelling lavender on a big synthetic amber background. A sort of shampoo writ large. Look at Turin. Last review. Do you mean Hugo XY or do you mean the Hummer one? Kind of plasticky. I've honestly smelled neither. I've never smelled any Lancôme fragrance except maybe one time I smelled Maggie Noir. But even that, I don't remember at all what it smelled like. I only know from my parents that it's strong, and that's that. But yeah, Fosco, when you say last review, I didn't understand. Do you mean Hummer or do you mean Hugo XY? When Tanya wrote, since water gets no cooler than that, this must be the end of this road. I mean, I'm not saying he's wrong. I've just never smelled them. Ah, de Lancôme. What? That's the review that I've literally read. Oh, so I mean like the review that I was reading at the time. Okay, okay, I got it. Okay, let's just move on. Okay. Whew. Hypnotic Poison by Dior, a 4-star almond oriental. HP is an essay in snatching triumph from the jaws of defeat. I am as surprised to find it beautiful as I would be if someone turned up in an all-brown outfit and contrived to be Gorgeous. Every single note in HP, from the plum and coconut up top to the vanilla and coumarin in the dry down, with some heliotrope in between, is dark, velvety, and autumnally muted. And yet their sum total radiates in a way that only a great perfumer could have arranged. A double bass sextet that swings. And lo, it was done by Yannick Menardeau, which explains everything. Look at Turin. Iceberg by Iceberg, a one-star sad shampoo. That's him. That's him, all right. Put him back in the freezer. Bro, how did bro did him so dirty? Bro, I have to read that shit again. Iceberg. Oh, that's him, all right. No, put him back in the freezer. Bro fucking slaughtered him. Bro, he's already dead. Oh my god. That's him, alright. Jesus Christ. Iceberg Iceberg Twice by Iceberg, a 2-star herbaceous floral. Naph masculine, mysteriously intended for women. I mean, I've never smelled it either. It's just I have a huge hole in my perfume knowledge and portfolio, olfactory portfolio in that regard. I seem like I know a lot, but maybe I don't even seem like I know a lot, but I have a lot of stuff which I have not smelled, and I'm planning to smell eventually. So, Iceberg Twice, men. so, Sorry, I'm still laughing at the Iceberg one. Iceberg Twice, Men by Iceberg, a 1-star fruity woody. Undistinguished, demure fruity floral combined with a bellowing woody amber note, reminiscent of the little girl in The Exorcist shouting in a deep male voice. Look at Turin. Sure thing. This one was Iceberg Twice, Men. And the funny joke one is Iceberg Ohm. Sure, I'll try and do that. Okay, I'll try and do that. Next up, we got IF by Apothea. 2 stars, just tuberose. Diluted tuberose absolute. If this is fragrance, I'm Ernest Beau. Look at Turin. I think Ernest Beau is the perfumer for Chanel number 5 and the very early Chanels. Either way, this was written by Luca Turin on IF by Apothea. Next up, Impact by Caron, a 4-star lavender vanilla. The original 1958 Impact smelled like a 50-50 mixture of poivre and tabac blanc. This one is a concentrated Puranum, possibly with a slightly better grade of lavender, though I wouldn't swear on that. What makes it unusual is it is a sort of eau de parfum concentration, rare in a masculine, Luca Turin. This was Luca Turin, and he wrote this about Impact from Caron. Incensi by Lorenzo Villoresi, a 2-star menthol oriental. You'd expect a straightforward church incense from a fragrance called Incensi, and it gets there eventually, a nice, dry, peppery, woody variation on the theme. But first, for reasons difficult to fathom, you must pass through a muddled floral oriental unnecessarily complicated with cinnamon and camphor. Written by Tanya Sanchez on Incensi by Lorenzo Villoresi. Plasticky, fantasticky, you can brush my hair, take me everywhere. Fucking imagination. Life. Fucking what's the other verse? Life is a creation, I think. Anyway, come on Barbie, let's go party, of course. How could I forget that iconic line? Okay. Floral Oriental, unnecessarily complicated with cinnamon and camphor. Tanya Sanchez on Incensi by Lorenzo Filonesi. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you for the lyric. I did forget it. Mostly because the song is so fucking annoying, and my brain just does not want to hold much about it other than it existed. Anyway, individuel, individuel. I'm pretty sure it's individuel, maybe by Mont Blanc, a one-star citrus green. A laundry soap formula apparently for individuals who can't yet afford the Mont Blanc pens. Tanya Sanchez on Mont Blanc Individuel. Strange. L'Enfant by Devon. A 4-star mimosa floral. If you're going to do a no holes barred girly powdery floral, this is the way to do it. Rich, compact, complex, held together by an intense but natural mimosa accord. A beautifully worked out fragrance, perhaps not as immediately striking as some in the genre, but more pleasant than most in the long term. Look at her in on Devon's L'Enfant. Infini by Caron. A 3-star electronic floral. I kind of say it like floral from the Yanny, floral, like floral. Funny. Anyway, a classic lactonic floral, dark and milky ambery like Givenchy's original L'Entrée. Nice in a retro way, but with a peculiarly masculine dry down of wood and violet leaf, which may not have been in the original. Tanya Sanchez on Caron's Infini, or Infini. Infusion d'Iris by Prada. A 2-star woody floral. The good news! This is, by comparison with other Prada fragrances, a well-mannered composition. The bad news, it contains no discernible natural iris note and feels rather like a gray, nondescript, woody masculine. Look at her in on Infusion, yes. Next up, Inhale by Parfum d'Empire, a 4-star fruity wood. Having run out of empires, Marc-Antoine Corticciato at long last lets his hair down and moves on from the luxurious but slightly formulaic pastiches of a historical line to weird abstract compositions that reveal a far more inventive talent. Inhale and its companion Exhale are both delightful fragrances. Inhale is a very strange accord of citrus orange woods, an ink-like stagnant background, and the camphoraceous gummy candy note familiar to those who like Japanese fruit gums. The result is not like Oyedo, but clearer and more stately. It feels a bit like a date with a Klingon. At first, the forehead ridges are disturbing, but soon enough, smoothness seems so passé. By Locaterin on Inhale by Parfum d'Empire. Next up, Insensé. Probably Insensé, probably. Or is it Insensé? Not sure. It's probably Insensé, because the first part is English and the latter part sounds French, so Insensé. Insensé. Whatever, by Givenchy. A 5-star masculine floral. Whew. Insensé is back. Givenchy must be commended for bravely reissuing marvels from its distinguished past, not least because they put most of its present offerings to shame. The reissues of 3 and Vetiver were a great idea, since the world cannot have too many Vetivers and Green Sheepus. But Insensei was a matter of far greater import. When it was released in 1993, it was one of the most original masculines in decades, and that rarest thing, a floral for men. Michael Edwards's database lists only 8 such, leaving aside lavenders. A tiny number if you consider there are 659. Honestly, never heard of Insensei by Givenchy. There are 659 aromatic fougères as of 2008. You have to remember, this came out way long ago. Insensei was far too clever for its time and bombed miserably, hindered by a wan that means sickly pale for anyone who does not know. Wan meaning sickly pale. I have not known this for the longest time. These guys have taught me a new word, wan. Typed out WAN. Never seen it before this. By a wan, floppy-haired, bloodless advertising image that suggested it was a perfume for wusses. And in retrospect, you can see why. Despite doomed attempts to swim upriver, such as Globe by Rochat and Number 3 by Caron, the early 90s were going in a completely different, far easier direction, towards spices and woods. Incense is a remote relative of green chypres. Its composition is unusually complex and hovers between the herbaceous and the green floral against a woody background, with a touch of the sweet musky character of Raban Pouron. It is blessed with 2 qualities that are the surest mark of a good masculine: melancholy and mystery. It will likely flop again, so buy it now before Givenchy changes its mind. Look at Turin on Insensé by Givenchy. And with that, we are done with the book portion, and I'm going to log off in a bit. However, I do want to do the letting the viewers decide my scent of the night, which is different from a bed scent, because I'm just gonna spray it on the arm, and then when I go to bed, I go to sleep, I'm gonna spray it on my chest. So let's start with a mini bottle as chosen for the candidates of the scent of the night. Our mini bottle is Dunhill Edition Eau de Toilette. The best thing about it is the bottle. The smell kind of confuses me. I really don't get Dunhill Edition. But again, I really love the swirl glass effect. And now I am pulling out 3 decants, which go aside the mini bottle for the 4 candidates of today. We got Chamade Profond. We got Aubusson Homme. No, I can't do that one. Pulled that one yesterday. Not fair. No. 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 Sorry, it's just a lot of them I've pulled recently. Fuck it. Our fourth candidate is Descendre by Les Abstraits. So again, I'll run it by you guys again. Our candidates for today's scent of the night or evening is Dunhill Edition as the mini bottle competing. Aubusson homme, also called a bussin homme, if you're from Texas. Chemade for women by Guerlain, of course, and Descendre. Descendre is Descendre by Eugene. Weird stream. I'm not gonna talk about that one because I'm not a drama stream. I am a perfume stream. That is all. So yeah, feel free to vote. We got, again, I'll say it again, Dunhill Edition, Aubusson Homme, Chamade by Guerlain, and Descendre. Feel free to type out. I don't even, just like short, that's it. Just say, don't even explain why. Just tell me what you want me to wear between Dunhill Edition, Chamade, Aubusson Homme, and Descendre. I mean, it is very feminine, but I don't hate smelling it on me. So are you saying that your vote is Shamad? Is that your vote? Okay. Uh, Democracy wins since we have three viewers and two of them have voted for Shamad. Uh, it is customary here that we bid farewell and a good fight to all the losers of the Scent of the Night bracket. Aubusson, sorry, you didn't win today. You might win someday. Someday. Descendre, you're my least favorite Les Abstraits, but that doesn't mean you're bad. Dunhill Edition, your juice fucking sucks. I'm gonna be real with you. I really don't get you, like, at all. Let me smell you again. It's a weird dirt cream version of something in the vein of Alzado Purom. Yo, hey, what's up? You just missed the scent of the evening vote, where Chamad by Guerlain for women won, and I'm currently bidding farewell to all our losers, which were Descendre by Les Abstraits, Aubusson Homme, which Ramsey likes to call a bussin, even though that's not how you pronounce it, Ram, and Dunhill Edition, which really the only, yeah, Shaman is great. The only thing that I think is cute and interesting about this fragrance is the bottle, and that it feels nice to hold in the hand. Other than that, completely unremarkable fragrance. Uh, just like a kind of shittier, marginally smoother Azara Peron. It's nice, but like don't go and get this. Uh, in my opinion, just don't. This sucks. This sucks donkey dick. Okay. Now it is time for me to spray on Shamad. I'm pretty sure it's Aubusson. Aubusson, not Aubusson. Pretty sure it's Aubusson. Because there's an O at the end, so it's Aubusson. Pretty sure. I would go and find it for you again, but I'm pretty sure it's Aubusson. Aubusson. Anyway, time to spray on Shamad. Tell you a bit about what I'm getting. One spray here, and one spray here. And we're gonna aerate these. I do get the like I did say that I get an oiliness that's reminiscent of shamad in my rant about Nahima on Eugene's stream. Just watch it for that. I say that's the cleanest part of that stream. The Nahima conversation. I think Canadian Beauty Vlog put a timestamp on it. But yeah, it starts off with with a hugely grandma stuffy powdery creaminess that I think you guys call aldehyde, because I get an oiliness peeping from the background, like a kind of purple that's kind of peeking through a very wide net of white over like a very smooth yet kind of spiky white. But also, it's there is a lot of that kind of number 5 I'm not. No, 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 no. Yeah, sure. Thank you for the sympathies, but that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not starting anything with anyone. I'm just here to make friends. But yeah, Shamad is very nice. It has a lot of the oiliness that Nehima has, of course. It's like the oiliness of Nehima, but remove the abstract blurry green and replace it with a more concrete, creamy, white grandma feel that is a coating, a mask that this particular, Nehima oil feel, as it were, is wearing. It is very much kind of, uh, I mean, I wouldn't wear this. Not because like it's too feminine. It's because do Dusham. It's it's because it's not intriguing enough for me. I mean, sure it is very interesting and there are a lot of facets to this, but I don't know. It's one I respect, but I don't enjoy. If I were to compare this to like something that is more, visual and concrete instead of like a smell, this is like fuck yeah. This is like reading a Herman Melville book. You respect the writing, but you fucking hate the plot, bro. It's like so snooze festy. Like, oh my god. Like, sure, there are metaphors and big this and that. And Herman Melville, one of the greatest modernist authors. But it's so fucking boring. No offense to my man Herman Melville, but that shit puts me to sleep, bro. Call me a zoomer, an uneducated oaf, but his stuff is just, ugh. Like it's not dark enough for me to say it's a Dostoevsky or a Chekhov or a Pushkin. It's none of those. It's Herman Melville. Boring but complex. At least that's how I view Herman Melville. Or Herman Melville. I got caught from the French age removal thing. Anyway, With these closing thoughts and and very incidental roast of Herman Melville, I think I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you to everyone who has come in and joined the stream to watch. Feel free to you know thumbs the stream up if you did enjoy it. That's about it. There's another thing in the comments that you can very clearly see, but it's not a must. And so with that, I'm ending the stream, giving you guys a good old handshake. Thank you for coming. Bye. Sorry. Now.